The night was dark, and a cold wind rustled through the quiet streets of Willow, a peaceful small town nestled in the heart of the countryside. The town's residents slept soundly, unaware of the imminent terror that was about to descend upon them. High above in the inky sky, an ominous alien spacecraft silently approached, its strange otherworldly lights casting an eerie glow over the landscape. Inside the spacecraft, grotesque, insect-like creatures with multiple legs and elongated bodies prepared for their invasion. Their cold, soulless eyes glinted with malevolence as they unleashed their attack plan upon the unsuspecting town below. In the center of Willow, the town square was dominated by a grand clock tower that had stood for generations. Its chimes had echoed through the streets every hour for as long as anyone could remember, marking the passage of time and the rhythms of daily life. The first sign of trouble was a flicker of the town's power grid as the alien ship released an electromagnetic pulse that plunged Willow into darkness. Panic spread like wildfire as residents were jolted from their sleep, stumbling in the dark, searching for flashlights and trying to make sense of the sudden chaos. From the shadows, the alien invaders emerged, their chittering and hissing echoing through the streets. They moved with eerie precision, their multiple limbs propelling them forward, and their dark, glistening exoskeletons reflecting the dim moonlight. A group of residents gathered near the town square, hoping to find safety beneath the clock tower. As the aliens closed in, a brave but frightened police officer named Officer Turner shouted, "Stay close, we need to stick together." He raised his flashlight, revealing the grotesque aliens in all their horrific glory. The townsfolk gasped at the sight, unable to comprehend the monstrosities that had descended upon their peaceful town. The aliens attacked with a terrifying ferocity. Their elongated mandibles snapped and tore into the flesh of anyone unfortunate enough to be within their reach. Blood-curdling screams filled the air as the creatures inflicted unimaginable pain on their victims. Officer Turner and a few others fired their weapons, sending bullets and laser beams into the advancing horde. Some of the creatures fell, twitching and writhing, but more took their place. It was a relentless onslaught, and the survivors quickly realized they were outmatched. A young mother named Sarah clutched her child tightly, tears streaming down her face. She whispered to her daughter, "We'll make it out of this, I promise." But the fear in her eyes betrayed her uncertainty. As the battle raged on, the clock tower loomed above, its hands frozen in time. The aliens seemed drawn to it, their chilling intelligence guiding them toward the ancient structure. Officer Turner knew he had to protect the last refuge of the townspeople. "Get to the clock tower," he yelled, leading a desperate charge toward the iconic landmark. The townsfolk followed, dodging and fighting their way through the alien horde. The clock tower offered a temporary sanctuary, and the group barricaded themselves inside, pushing furniture against the doors and windows. They could hear the hissing and clicking of the aliens outside, their relentless assault testing the limits of the makeshift barricade. Inside the clock tower, the survivors took a moment to catch their breath. The wounded were tended to as best as they could, but despair was beginning to set in. The town had been turned into a gruesome battleground, and the aliens showed no signs of relenting. As the night wore on, the townspeople huddled together, waiting for the dawn to break, and they hoped for help to arrive. The aliens remained just outside, a gruesome reminder of the horrors they had brought to Willow. The invasion of Willow was far from over, and the survivors knew that they would have to find a way to fight back or face a gruesome fate at the hands of their extraterrestrial attackers.